Welcome to That's So Rad podcast. I'm your host, Travis Vonksness. This is a podcast about people, their passions, their life experiences, and their stories. As writer Frederick Buechner once said, the story of any one of us is in some measure the story of us all. All of us can learn something valuable from someone else's life and their stories. Join us for another conversation where we learn, laugh, and leave, seeing our own life in new ways. What's more rad than that? Welcome to That's So Rad podcast. I'm your host, Travis, and I'm joined by my good friend, Roosevelt Leggett.
Glad to be here.
Great to have you, man. Really excited to have you on the podcast. Roosevelt, been a little bit more of an elusive guest. Had to do a little chasing here. I got from my sister-in-law this last Christmas, this mug that says, "Be careful or you'll end up on my podcast." So it was only a matter of time.
Yeah.
So
been thinking about ways how to get out of this, but here we are.
Well, I'll owe you for something down the road. So I do have a truck, so moving furniture or something maybe yeah. All right, cool. All right, so Roosevelt is I'd say we've been kind of friends for knowing each other, what, maybe 2 years now?
Yeah, going on 2 years in probably June or so.
Okay. Newer friendship. You know several of my brothers. You go way back with at least one of them, right?
Right. Yeah, I know your youngest brother, Brett, and know Brett sits. We were involved in crew at UFC Upstate.
What kind of year-ish was that?
I guess that was around, gosh, I really got to know Brett was 2015.
Okay. So over 10 years, yeah.
Yeah. I saw someone, I guess about an hour ago, that was from like that era that I knew about, but I never actually met him. And,
okay.
Yeah, that was a good time. Just being out of college and being able to pour into students, on college campus.
Sweet. Yeah. No, I'm going to hear more about all this stuff, and love your hat game tonight as we're recording this. So
Thank you.
Always strong. But yeah, Roosevelt we go to the same church and kind of known one another through that, and then just hanging out. Families do life together sometimes. We have a lot of common interests, and so really, yeah, you're for me, you're one of my friends who's a deep thinker. You have so many interests that are, like I just said, I align with as well. So, Roosevelt, tell us a little bit more about anything you want to say about yourself or your family by way of setup.
Yeah, sure. I'm originally from Greenville, South Carolina. Wherever I go, like when I lived outside of South Carolina, I always brag about Greenville. And because it's been such a place of, I guess, renewal.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially since I got out of college in 2012, just seen it grow a lot.
Man.
And specifically like the Swamp Rabbit. I love that place. So anyway, yeah, I love Greenville. But been in Spartanburg off and on since 2008 when I entered college. And after I graduated, I started dating now my wife, Hillary, and we've been married for about 9 years. And we have two daughters who are 5 and 4, Malia and Nora. And they are a lot of joy to have around. And every day is an adventure. Hillary and I just really enjoy how much life they bring to us. I guess that's a little bit about me.
Yeah, that's a great setup, and I'm with you on Greenville. Greenville, if you've never been, has one of the coolest downtowns, and the feature Falls Park downtown that you're going to see, I would say, nationally. I mean, I know of people all over the country that have said that downtown design from even bigger cities is just mind-blowingly cool.
Yeah, I saw today that it won an award for like being one of the top 10 like city parks in the nation on USA Today.
Wow.
Um, so like yeah, the Falls Park and like all of the Swamp Rabbit is in downtown. All of it's just beautiful, and like every time I go there, like I'm just blown away like what it's become. I used to
Yeah.
walk down there a lot when I was in high school.
Okay.
It was just so different.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, both Greenville and Spartanburg have been, for their city size, like some of the biggest, draws in the country in terms of like, people moving in, relocating. So
yeah.
massive, massive growth around here. So, of course, got to ask you, you have a really cool, unique name, Roosevelt. Where did that come from?
Well, I was named after my dad, Roosevelt Jr.
Okay.
Um, and my dad, as far as I know, he was named after his uncle.
No. Okay.
And so over the years, I've probably met like four other Roosevelts. I won't say four, maybe five, but
Nice.
they're all most of them are like all my dad's age, or older. It's an old name.
Interesting. Okay.
Um, I think I've only met one like Roosevelt, a guy that was like maybe two grades behind me in high school.
That's fascinating. I never knew that about. So, like, your family has sort of the like, almost like a heavy hold on the name Rose. So you don't know like historically how far back, like where whoever was named after,
I
possibly.
don't.
Okay, interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild. Kind of reminds me of, I might have said this before, like our last name Vongsness is Norwegian, and we did one of those like it was a AI, some kind of like name origin story search, whatever, and it is like it broke down like where across the globe like that name exists. And
Hmm.
it was like a pocket of in the US, like whatever amount, said it has increased by like 9,000% or whatever, because like all of my brothers have like five kids, and it's just so,
Oh wow.
yeah. So maybe you guys have a huge pocket of Roosevelts that
Yeah, I guess the Roosevelts I met, they've all been in the South. Um, so I never met somebody like from up north or
yeah,
elsewhere that's named Roosevelt.
really,
Um,
that's really interesting. Very
yeah,
cool.
I really like having a name Roosevelt.
Yeah, I'm sure you get asked all the time, like, what's the meaning behind that, or it's, you don't, not when you encounter every day.
It
Um,
is nicknamed all the time though.
oh well, yeah,
Someone
I
has
was gonna
asked that.
say,
Yeah.
yeah, and multiple. I mean, I know I've called you
Yes.
Rose and stuff like
Yes.
that, but
Yeah. I
yeah,
like
that
it. Rose, Rosie, Roro. I think that's one of my
Roro,
favorites.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. That's what my niece and nephews. Oh, my nieces and nephew have called me in the past, and sometimes still. What else? Belt, Belt.
Velt.
Uh,
What?
yeah. So it Belt. The latter part of my name, but
Yeah.
I guess V is hard to say, and so like my younger cousin used to call me Belt. So yeah, all
It's
over the
funny.
place.
It is funny because like it is long enough that there's so many different ways you could break it up. So I was going to ask you, did you get the back half Velt because you had Roro?
Yeah.
Sure enough, and Velt. So I guess there is probably an age cutoff though for you where Roro, like coming from like if I were to call it, like okay, maybe that's out about
Yeah.
flag on the field on that one, Trav.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
That's great. All right, so one of the things I wanted to, by way of just our life together stories, or is we have a crazy memory together, and that was a karaoke experience. Can we just real briefly talk about that?
Oh my goodness.
What do you
Uh,
remember? So like this was in 2025 or 4. It was at least a year ago.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I sung the song that I thought I was going to embarrass somebody with. I got my own song.
Okay.
I guess we put songs in a hat. A group of guys from church,
Yep.
and um, we I guess we chose songs that we thought other people would feel embarrassed to sing.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's how I was thinking
That was
about it.
my strategy.
And so I got Dua Lipa's Dance, or whatever you call that song. It's a great song, but
Yeah.
it's just I didn't realize like how I guess hard to sing that song was. It's rhythmically, it's just different. Um, so I really embarrassed myself.
I forgot you got your own. Okay, so as you said, we're at a karaoke. It's a men's group hanging out, and one of us. I mean, the idea evolved, but one of us was almost like, I know I was thinking like, I hate doing karaoke, um, and but fun to watch. But I was like, well, if some of these guys are gonna do it, the peer pressure is gonna mount, and we're gonna kind of have to probably. So it's like, if we're gonna have to man up on this thing, can we make it, I don't know, maybe even more miserable. I don't, or like let's add a dare element to this. So yeah, it was like you said, let's write a song down. We're gonna put it in our, and there's like six of us. You're gonna pick the song and whatever it is that, and the other element of it that was hilarious, scary, was you didn't know
You didn't
until
know,
literally you grab. Well, I guess you saw your numbers. You had a little prep,
right?
but it was basically take your number, go up to the mic, and do it. So were you one of the first?
I wasn't. I
Oh,
was.
okay.
I wasn't last.
But you
I was
were,
the first
okay.
toward the end, I think.
So I know the song I had was Steal My Sunshine by Len, great 90s, end of the 90s song. And that was a tough one because the guy that got it, our friend Ben, had never heard that song. And so when you've not also heard the song and then to
Right.
try it right. Um, I got Barbie. Is it Barbie World? Is Barbie the name of that song?
Probably.
I think I got the worst.
Uh,
You feel like yours was worse because it was harder, more technical.
yeah, I feel like it was harder to
Harder.
sing, harder to follow along with.
But here's
That's
what,
probably just me.
well, but here's what if you recall this moment in mine where I have to say, I think I still may have had the worst because that is a pretty rough song. But if you remember the moment at which, at one point I kind of just freaked out. I'm like, this is such a disaster. And I did what you then don't do. I publicly through the mic announced if someone would want to come up and help. A young woman comes up
Oh
and
yeah,
joins me,
I remember that.
kind of facing me too. I mean, it wasn't even just like we're performing together. I mean, it was like looking at me, and it was like the added element of, I mean, that was a whole other level that as, yeah.
Yeah, whenever like Hillary and I are at like conferences or like even when we were on a cruise, like she's the person that wants to get picked to come up front,
Oh, really?
and I'm not that person.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
I feel just embarrassed by myself. Like, I mean, Hillary can steal the show. Like,
Right.
she's great at that kind of stuff. Uh, but me myself, I feel like I'm just the worst. Um, Even as I'm on this podcast, like I I probably won't watch this. I mean, I don't know what people do. I don't know if they watch
Yeah,
my
yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yeah.
but I feel like I feel like I make a mess of it. So
Oh man.
I just try to stay away from it.
And I already know it's already an awesome podcast, and usually the people that say that and think that end up being like the best. It's yeah, I know, yeah. Um no, but I'm with you on that too. The worst of all, I once got picked, it's the magic shows. Oh man, that's the worst. Like, and if it's and and one that's even kind of fairly intimate. I mean, it's like it's kind of bad to be in a one where you're picked, but it's so big. But then it's like almost like it's so big you feel it'll, I don't know, maybe more protect. I was in one where I got picked and it was pretty small, and I was like, oh, and you're just slinking down your seat, like, no, like, really, is this happening to me right now? And they're trying to be funny and you're making a fool of yourself, and oh man, it's the worst.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I will say I want to be better at it. I want to, um, let Hillary have her fun, and it's part of being married is
that's
doing
right.
stuff
That's right.
that you feel foolish about. But
It's a good attitude. I like it. So you're willing to, yeah, maybe risk being picked, at
yes,
a.
just kind of have an out of body kind of experience while you're up there, and just kind of get through it.
What would you, real quick? This is off the rails already, but what would your worst getting picked? Magic show, some sort of like public singing act, or like a reptile display person where you're kind of having to.
When you say reptiles, think of snakes, and I don't like snakes.
So that would be your
So
worst to have
that'll
to.
be the worst. Yeah, I was just talking to my daughter Nora, and the idea like you either hate spiders, you hate snakes. It's like I can deal with a spider,
I'm with you
but
there.
I don't like
Yep,
snakes.
100%. I'm with you on that. And I am scared of heights too. So like the whole like snakes in a plane concept. I mean, I guess you're in a plane, you're inside of it, but I was like, put those together.
Oh, that
So
would be great.
okay, so as we wind this down about sort of some random stuff, what is something few people know about you? Uh, strange fear, hidden
Yeah,
talent.
so a weird habit. I love this one. Um, when I'm like just sitting around and I have a piece of paper, I love to just fold. I've been doing it since I was in middle school. I just love
Really?
folding paper. Not necessarily origami, although
Okay.
I have dabbled in origami.
Really?
Um, yeah, I just love like folding paper. It's like, people like biting their nails or, doing any
That's
other thing I just love folding paper. It's really
that's
random.
that is
Um,
that is perfect. That's wow. Okay, so and you've dabbled in origami.
yeah, a little bit. I have some cranes and, I've like made the bow tie and everything. Um, yeah,
I,
I just love folding paper. I love
that
to see
is.
like where it can go. Like make paper airplanes and such.
Oh, I did love making paper airplanes back in the day.
Yeah,
So does it start for you as a thing where sometimes you find yourself folding and it's like calming, stuff like that, but you're also like trying to create something as it's going, or is it
yeah,
more of okay? So you're,
yeah.
I
I
got
actually
you.
have something on my desk at work right now.
Really?
um, yeah, like a little post-it note that I've been folding. And I, as I, go throughout the day, sometimes I'll just pick it up, and kind of sit in thought and fold paper.
That's cool. I like that. And well, also the reason I also like it too is, well, it's random, but it's cool. When I was in college, I was in uh, a writing class. I was a writing minor. So it was a theater class, but got to write a one act play, and every single one of them, every student's plays were performed.
Hmm.
And mine was a comedy about an origami competition, and it
Hmm.
was and the title of the play was Ready Set Fold. And
Nice.
yeah, so the idea was almost like, think of think of some kind of competition like athletically, and then put origami in that, like two competitors having to do a crane as fast as possible, and then anyway, so and getting to see that come alive, like I wrote it, and getting to see that performed by actors is still to this day one of the coolest things all time in my life. I just
I bet that
remember,
is really neat.
yeah, because it's like this vision, you put it on paper, and then here they are acting out, and so it's like it becomes a living thing, right? So when you said origami, I was like, oh man, that took me back to
What was your major?
history.
Okay, history and
History,
writing.
yeah.
That makes sense, man. That's all
Yeah,
you.
well, I was going to be a history teacher, and then I think as a junior I got into the part where you're starting to observe classes, and as much as I loved history, I watched this one teacher, and I remember going, I don't have the passion to teach the subject that I guess I saw him have. Not that you have to, I guess, but
Yeah,
I sense like, I don't think teaching is where, I think that was probably a good call. I was a
yeah.
sub one time, long term, but yeah. What was your major?
Information management and systems. So essentially, like what I'm doing right now is kind of like
Okay.
uh, where IT and business kind of meet together, kind of being a person that's able to speak both languages and
Okay.
um, so I code, but also I work to understand the needs of the customer. So I'm not like all well. My job right now is a lot more behind the scenes
Sure.
in IT, but in the past it's been understanding not necessarily the technical aspect, but
Okay.
also the aspect of the customer. And I
Cool.
also did a minor in communications, so
Did you?
take your minor in writing. Yeah, so
Okay.
um, I love communications, and I don't write as much as I like to, um, but I love all of like communication.
You, as I already said, I think, are a Renaissance man to me. The way, I mean, you have an incredible amount of variety of interests and a lot of cool hobby type things. Let's talk a little bit about that. So, um, let's get into a bit of your world on things you're into. And
Yeah,
I heard there might be a prop involved.
let's see. Yeah, it was really fun creating it. Being able to create this. The reason I did this was because I was on a blog
Mm-hmm.
of a guy that spoke up about something
Okay.
um, in his respective uh, institution,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just really fascinated by him. I found his blog, and so I was just going back and like reading some old blogs, and I found that he did a Venn diagram to kind of explain like things he was into. So I was like, hey, why don't I try that?
Cool.
Uh, my camera is not great. Let's see.
Yeah, I can see that now. Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Uh, all
So
right.
you've got the
So
three.
I got so the I'll just kind of I'll show it and I'll
Yeah.
explain it a little
Sure.
bit. Um, so you have infotech, music, love of Jesus, and at the center of it is an explorer. Um, so I have like explanations um, of like where what those intersections are. So for instance, between music and infotech is I love Apple technology.
Okay.
Um, I love being able to discover music. I love being able to um, like follow along and read about different artists and their background. Um, and then like the explorer part is music as anthropology. And,
Mm.
so like where infotech music and explorer meet is music as anthropology. I really like get to know like cultures and people and backgrounds through um, through music. So as a matter of fact, the hat I'm wearing is from a concert I went to. John Mark Miller is like one of my favorite artists. Uh, and then like between the love of Jesus and music actually is like um, I love like Christian hip hop. I love like artists like John Martin Millen and King's
Mm-hmm.
Kaleidoscope.
Mm-hmm.
People that really are um, on the forefront of like wrestling with tough topics and
Hmm.
like keeping their faith in Jesus
Yeah.
as the most important thing. So
Yeah.
you see those people like really wrestling with doubt, really wrestling with their life circumstances,
Right.
and I love that aspect of art.
Hmm.
Um, and
I love
then
that.
like between like infotech and love of Jesus, I put faith informed nerd.
Faith informed nerd. Let's go.
Yeah. And so like what's behind that is like, like I, subscribe to different like journals, or periodicals or whatever.
Yep.
Um so I love, reading, stuff from New York Times. I
Yeah.
love reading stuff from Christianity Today.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, and, those, I guess those two specifically, I feel like they have just good reporting, from all over the place. And, I really get to understand, my world better.
Sure.
So, speaking of like communications,
Mm-hmm.
I would say like when it comes to infotech, it's, mainly like the communication devices,
Hmm.
that
Infotech. Yep.
infotech, I have an iPod, I have a couple iPods actually, that I still, actively use. Um, and so kind of going back to Apple, so there's a lot of like old tech
Hmm.
um, that I and new tech that I just love having. So just bringing it all together full
Yeah.
circle. I love exploring, and all of it is kind of centered on um, being exploring God's world. Um, and so another thing is my shirt. I This shirt is from 2004. It's a really
Okay.
old shirt. I
Yeah.
have a couple of them. Philmont is a scouting ranch in New Mexico, which is why it has the Zia sun symbol, and it has a palmetto tree and the moon in the center because I went with about I want to say 20 other guys. I was a freshman in high school, and we
Okay.
went to New Mexico and we hiked 70 miles. Um,
Wow.
and that kind of I guess scouting from first grade on up to high school just really put a love for like exploring God's world um, through different things, and I feel like Fillmore was kind of the culmination of all that, and kind of full circle. Like I never knew that I would live in New Mexico, but my wife and I, we
Yeah.
moved to New Mexico in 2017, right after we got married, and we got to explore and do a lot there. Kind of something that Hillary and I both share is that we love exploring, and we love
Hmm.
ventures. Um,
Yeah.
and you know, yeah, I feel like Philmont, is just a great example of um, being able to, backpack and do hard things and do it with other people. Um, so that's why I love, concerts.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I love going to concerts, and I love uh, it's just hobby I want to share with other people. But right now, I ride my bike to work. Just because it's a way I get to see people in the community.
Yeah.
Actually, so
Yeah.
I say I want to do it with other people, but actually, like riding my bike, part of it, like riding it to work, is I do get to see people. Like sometimes I run into you.
Sure.
I
Yep.
see
Yep.
people that I wouldn't otherwise see, and I see things throughout my community that I wouldn't otherwise see if I were in a car. And at the same time, I get to, exercise. Um, so, that's a part of kind of the exploration, side of me, um, or
Man.
explorer.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
I love that so much. I'm so glad you shared that and put some intentional thought into kind of articulating that, because that is incredibly powerful. The way you the Venn diagram thing, but also just the way you the even the line. How do you say it? Explorer of the kingdom of God, or of how did you say that
yeah,
again?
explorer of God's world.
Of God's world. Yeah, like wow, that is like kind of, it's like living alive, like fully alive. Like it reminds me of the great line by the Jesuit uh poet Gerard Hopkins, where he said the universe is, how does he say it? The universe is like a lot, how is it? The universe is sparkling, or I'm jacking this up, but essentially like the universe is sparkling with the grandeur of God. Like the idea that everywhere there's this just mystery and depth and meaning that just mine it. Like
Yeah,
that's what you're
yeah,
doing. You're mining.
yeah,
Like I love that. Like how do you say, the anthropology of music? Or
yeah. The music has anthropology, like
yeah,
just. how music tells stories of cultures.
That was, yeah. And then how you kind of articulated the, whether it's landscapes, but cultures, but through music, but then, kind of how you frame your world of sources of information, um, and then kind of navigating in that world. Like you're always telling me about like, hey, this podcast or there was an article about this thing. And I'm always like, man, yeah, you have your pulse on sort
Yeah,
of a lot of what's happening.
yeah. I'm off social media, with an exception of I use Instagram like when I'm at
Mm-hmm.
home or
Yep.
on devices that require Wi-Fi.
Yep.
Um, I don't like how social media, um, the kind of main aim is keeping you on it. So like while I'm out,
Right.
I don't want to be on it.
Right.
But I do want to stay connected to what's going on, you know, in my community and like with artists I love and people that I love, but I don't like actively post anything on it. I'm just kind
Yeah.
of lurking, you
Yeah.
know. Um, but with that being said, like if you know, social media became like this thing where it's chronologically showing stuff that's happened and it's a lot less ads. I would get back on,
Yeah.
Facebook actively.
Yeah.
But I think it's one of those things that it's using me more than I want to use it. Um, but it is a great
Yeah.
way
Right.
to you know like see what's going on in the world. Yeah. So I was kind of using. I use like an AI chatbot to kind of help me like think about things, kind of frame things.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I really liked was like the idea of overlap. So really like
Oh.
the Venn diagram like kind of helps me like see like the overlap in my life. And so like, when like genres mix, that's like the best music to me. It's when
Oh,
like
that's
different
cool.
like genres,
Yeah.
mix. So like when you say that, it's like that's my
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
That's super cool. What a cool way to look at your life. Like, where do things overlap? What patterns or what? Yeah. I guess it's a little bit of a compass, right? Kind of in a way of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay, what? Yeah, man, that's cool. Where did you pick up the idea of the kind of Venn diagram way of looking at life or whatever?
Uh
Or at least in
y-
that context, you did.
well, I so when I was I think I kind of shared a little bit at the beginning, but like, the Venn diagram I kind of picked up from a guy's blog. It was a way
Mm-hmm.
of sharing his interests, and I thought, that seems kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let's sit and think about like what are some, narrow down like, what are my interests, and try to like put them in big circles, and that, really helped me. It really helped me.
Cool.
And it kind of helped me understand myself better. And
Hmm. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that is cool. Makes me think a lot. Man, that was thought
you should
provoking.
you should do it. I love to see what yours would be.
Yeah, might be wild. I
Yep.
really should maybe. Yeah, keep me. Remind me of that. I need to do that on something, and I think that's a great exercise. So very cool. Um, maybe it'll birth a new podcast idea. Uh,
Oh, there you go.
there we go. Um, okay, so anything else you want to say about any of your interests or things in that realm?
Yeah, my wife, not my wife, my two girls and I, we went on a walk, just an hour ago.
Yep.
Um, and like, yeah, I just really love going on walks
Mm.
with my family. The whole family went on one yesterday. Sometimes that it can be a little frustrating, but a lot of times they're really fun. We living in Duncan Park. I actually walked my canoe down to the lake the other day.
Oh, really?
I bought this cart that puts
Yep.
my canoe on wheels. Um,
Sweet.
and oh, I thought I was silly, but it worked. It was great. So it
What
kind of brought together.
were you part of that's walking it through a residential area? Like,
Huh?
what is part of it? You're walking the canoe through the residential area down to the.
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
don't pass a guy walking a canoe every day.
Yeah, actually, I was bringing my boat up a hill, and my buddy, he was like, "This is the first time I've seen, a canoe come up this hill." So, when I left the job one time, they brought a cake, and it was a unicorn, and
Okay.
just kind of pointing the idea that I am a unicorn, and I'm okay living in that world.
That is that's it right there. I think that nails it. I mean, a unique name, a unique name. It starts there, and everything. I mean, it was like you were born into that like identity. Um, Also canoeing too is that reminds me. So I grew up in North Dakota, and we had a canoe, but I remember canoeing was
Cool.
kind of a big thing. Yep, we were near the Canadian border, so I
Okay.
remember we took a canoe trip. I think it was in high school, and there's so many lakes, and they're connected pretty close, where you do the whole portage. You know what that? Flip it, flip the canoe, and carry it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
through the like, and so some of that was hiking the canoes. So like you'd
Wow.
have a
Wow.
lake, let's say you did three neighboring lakes, and then you're hiking it from one lake to the next through the woods on
That sounds
maybe
amazing.
yeah, I mean, I'm right up your alley. But it was wild. It was, and you talk about like taxing, I mean, physically exhausting.
Yeah.
When you're done paddling, now we get to up we go through the through the
That's
woods.
so cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think like even this journey of like that I've been on for like last 3 years of like
Mm-hmm.
exercising more is
Yep.
like it helps me, you know, like bike more and
Yeah.
exercise and
Yeah.
get fit or whatever. But it's like things like that I want to be ready for, if it ever comes up, the opportunity ever comes up.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. No, for sure. Well, that was a cool kind of way to look into your life and kind of your passions and how you're really your lens in the world. I love that. So let's, as we go into this kind of turn on the track, let's talk about your world of tech. Really fascinated by that career of yours and kind of what you're learning and seeing in it, what led you to that. So kick it off by just like, yeah, what led you into this career where you're at?
yeah, so when I was in high school, well, or even before I was in high school, I remember my mom bringing home a Windows 95 computer, and
Nice.
it was something I was super fascinated with. And as we got AOL, and internet and everything, and dial-up, just the kind of evolution of everything,
Yep.
it's something I was really fascinated by. Um, and I would open up the computer and kind of understand, what was going on. Add different things, sometimes break things. Of course, my
Mm-hmm.
mom would already know the computer. So I just discovered I love like tinkering with technology. Um, and then when I got to college, I thought like I wanted to do like computer science, computer information systems, which is would be coding and
Mm-hmm.
all that, a lot of math. It's like
Yep.
that's not me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like math. I'm not great at math. Um, but I do like technology, and I had a friend tell me about this other major that I ended up graduating with is information management systems. And while I was in college, I worked at the help desk, um, and I got a lot of experience with um, a lot of the stuff that I like doing by myself, which was sometimes breaking and fixing things.
Okay.
Um, and helping people understand technology better. Uh, so I did that all 4 years, and it was just an amazing experience. And I, kind of decided that's what I want to do with my life is, I want to work
Cool.
at a higher
Mm-hmm.
ed institution,
Yep.
and I want to work in the IT department. Um, so I didn't initially do that after I got out of college.
Okay.
I kind of pursued doing that in the world of campus ministry. Um, uh, and so for a little bit, I worked with Campus Crusade for Christ. Working regionally um, with their information technology, and didn't just direct ministry on campus. Um, And I'm really glad I had that experience. But after all of it, I really wanted to get back into um, IT, uh, and kind of where I guess my first for me, like what it all kicked off with was working at a church in New Mexico,
Hmm.
in IT there, and like the guy I worked under, like just made me fall in love with IT even more, and just really
Hmm.
kind of solidified, it's okay to like love Apple and be in IT, because like it's a big thing with people that work in technology that you can't really get stuff done on Macs. And
Ah.
my boss, he at church I worked at, he was like there to prove him wrong, and so
Hmm.
it was like I really got like I guess I got validated by that.
Okay.
I could work in IT and love Apple, because there's other people like that. Because before that, like I didn't really see that. So even my current job that I've been in since June, like there's a couple people that pick on me because I use Apple technology. But anyway, I
Well,
ended
is
up
it seen that Apple? What is Apple's stereotypical applications? I mean, because it's like if you're really into like, yeah, I mean, just it's I don't know, video creation. I mean, it's more of
yeah, it's more seen as the arts. That's
the
why,
arts.
like,
Okay. Yep.
yeah, there's this presentation that Apple did, and it kind of had uh, like two street signs, and it, like we'd
Yep.
exist at the crossroads of the arts and technology, and that's really who they've kind of gone after, is providing platforms for people to create.
Sure.
Um, which is great, but also, you can get stuff done.
Yeah.
Even if you're remoting into a Windows box, like because there is certain software that's not made for Apple, but you
Sure.
can get it done. But just being able to have a system that works all the time,
Yeah. Yeah.
and works across other devices. Apple calls it the walled garden. Well, Apple doesn't call it that. Like a blogger, different bloggers call it like
Okay.
walled garden.
Okay.
It's just a great place for all the technology to work together really well.
A
But
walled
that's
garden.
neither here nor there.
Getting into
And
the
so like,
weeds in the garden here now.
yeah, get into the weeds. But that is a passion of mine, and
Yep.
like when it comes to tech, is um, working with Mac. So initially, when I was working at my first like big boy job, I guess you
Hmm.
could say,
Yeah.
full time job, working out of college, is, I was responsible, for the Apple technology. Um, and, I got a lot of, cool experience working with, um, Apple technology, like in classrooms and in labs. And, I also work with PCs, but, having that experience and having that love, it
Yeah.
provided like I guess you could say like a niche, like
Yeah.
specialty.
Yeah.
Um, and so, well, I worked as a tech for a while.
Okay.
Um, and, um, there was somebody that saw something in me that, thought I could do like a job that I, didn't necessarily think I could do unless I like, got another degree or got some kind of certification.
Hmm.
So I got some like on the job training, and, working with, database technology and, um, like the systems part. Um, so uh, that's while I was at my first I guess higher ed institution, which was Limestone,
Okay.
and that was a really great experience. I was there for like 4 years,
Hmm.
um, and I really loved being there. I love like being in a place of learning, and being at a place where it's different um, people from all over, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I kind of find myself, is being in a place where I'm providing platforms for things to get done
Hmm.
on college campuses. Um,
Yeah. It just made me think too. Interesting that you kind of college campuses is kind of where your space is, and it made me think back to your thing with like exploring. And it feels like college is such a place of exploration,
Oh, for
like for
sure.
students that like, hey, this is like, I'm going on a destination to this career or this career, that career, like, and then just itself, it's like, so, I mean, even you at that setting fits of like that whole idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's a place for the community to explore different things. Like,
Yep.
for instance, even before I started at Walford, I went to this presentation from a guy that like works with quantum computers,
Okay.
and kind of what I got out of it is that we don't really understand it,
Mm.
but once we understand it, it's gonna kind of revolutionize
Hmm.
like society. Um, and like I wouldn't have otherwise probably been able to be presented or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was really fascinating. So like you saying that is so
Yeah.
true that like college is such a place
Yeah.
for like not only the students but for the community too.
True. Yeah. For the community too. Yeah. Good. So what kind of, I mean, you've elaborated on some of that, but as far as like what you really most enjoy about kind of this world, is it just, kind of all that you continue to learn and,
Yeah, kind of being able to. I don't get a whole lot of like seeing this now, but I I love like relationally
yeah.
connecting with people. And I love being able to communicate complex things in simple ways.
Mm.
Um, and I actually got a chance to um, teach like 3 computer courses at a church
Okay.
um, here recently
Cool.
for um, some people that wanted to brush up on their skills, learn new things,
Cool.
and that's always like been a dream for me. Is like just being able to uh like teach people like on a
Yeah.
consistent basis like with technology. So like for me, like I really enjoy being able to um you know use my talents to make things easier for people.
Mm. Yeah.
I think when it comes down to that is that's it.
That's a good definition of like working in that world. And because it seems like exactly what people want. Really,
Yeah,
a lot of people like, can you please make this easier to like, so yeah.
yeah.
Um, what have you, as you kind of reflect on the career, how long have you kind of been in the space of sort of the tech world? And
I guess 18 years
18
or so.
years. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
What comes to mind as you think about what you've kind of just learned about life or people as it intersects technology or just that world?
Uh, with information technology, people want to be able to, we don't be able to get things done, and I think that they want somebody that can be there with them to
Mm-hmm.
help them, get to a place where they can use technology. So if like technology, say, breaks or whatever, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
hardware or whether like it's a virus or something breaks or like one of their, some of the their site or something, isn't working. Um, like they want to know that they see that you see them, where
Mm.
they are,
Hmm.
um, and that there's a possibility that things can be better, and not only can it be better, but they can. What am I trying to say here? I think it's just the idea that people want to use technology. That they're fascinated by it. Some
Yeah.
people are scared of it,
Yep.
but just being able to like meet people where they are,
Yeah.
like it means a lot. I think technology and communication. It's even with social media. Um, so this I have a tangent, but I'm not going to go there right now.
Oh, you're welcome
Um,
to though.
okay, thanks.
There's
Uh,
no, yeah, this podcast just, there's no, we just
so
bounce.
Justin Bieber, he was discovered on YouTube, and
Mm.
when I was in college, um, we used to sit around just watching like YouTube
Mm-hmm.
videos.
Yeah.
It was, like in 2008,
Yep.
2009, it was, the big thing. Um, and, I wasn't necessarily a believer,
Mm-hmm.
but, I appreciate Justin Bieber's music. Um, I appreciate pop. I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate pop.
Yep.
And so anyway, Justin Bieber performed at Coachella, this past weekend. And, I didn't actively like watch, the performance or anything, but I did start to see like different write ups about it, like headlines about Justin Bieber, and people that were saying like it was terrible, and some people
Mm-hmm.
that loved it. It's very mixed reviews about it, and the people said it was just him like using YouTube, um,
Mm.
and this is like a YouTube party, but it's like that's it. Like he knows his audience.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
knows like what got him famous, and I think that was
Okay.
just a callback to like understanding like the the importance of YouTube.
Yeah.
Um, I
Huh.
think like in social media, just in general. So he was just like searching random like things about himself. He like showed a video of himself, like yelling at a paparazzi, you know, and
So was it kind of a montage type of a deal where he just had
not
a bunch of?
necessarily. Like
Oh,
he
okay.
was literally like on a laptop, like I am right now,
Oh,
like
okay.
talking to his fans too, like having to
Okay.
recommend songs. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, he was like, it was like karaoke too. He was like playing like old songs of his, and he was like singing along with it. And it was really cool.
It's
I
create.
really respect.
Huh.
It was very creative.
Yeah.
Uh, and I say that all to say like, um, you know, I think he was really able to connect with people and like where they are. I think we
Huh.
kind of live in that world, and
Yeah.
where it may be algorithms that are feeding us content, but
Sure.
at the same time, like it's like who we are.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is cool to sort of it. So it sounds like it was sort of this like you said, harkening back to how he got discovered, and then kind of curating like this experience for the fan that sort of feels maybe not super performy. Is that was it kind of like
Yeah, I
you're
mean
hanging out with
that's
me
totally
and
it.
my
Yeah,
and I'm at my computer and we're kind of just chilling. Is that
I mean he was literally like saying, talking to the like he's a headliner of like this large festival. He
yeah,
got paid like ten million
yeah.
dollars for this, and he's talking to people that are home. It's like I see you at home. It's kind of like the internet like pastor that my internet campus. I see y'all there.
Yeah.
Um, but he was performing for them too.
Yeah.
Like not just the people that he was performing for in person, but also the people that were on YouTube watching his live stream. Like that was really cool.
Yeah. No, that's a cool example of that. Yeah. So as we close this out, what where are you finding inspiration lately in your life?
Yeah. My niece, she's 20 years old, and she's um, had this 3 year long bout with health.
Hmm.
Um, and um, just throughout the whole thing, like I've seen her faith grow. I've seen her family's faith grow. I've seen her grow closer to one another. Um, I really have um, just been joyful that God has brought her through so many things. There's been a lot of scary moments.
Hmm.
So I actually saw her, on Easter, and just being able to be with her,
Hmm.
and one, yeah, being with her,
Mm-hmm.
and,
Yep.
like, and then also like just seeing like the joy she has, and seeing the joy her family has, and seeing how they've, all grown through this. grown through this experience has been really inspiring for me.
That's awesome. Yeah, and she's got a journey ahead, I imagine, too, to continue to.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's cool.
Long story short, she had a heart transplant,
Oh man, yeah,
um,
that would be.
and just with different medications,
Yeah,
and
trying to get it
things,
right.
trying to get it right exactly.
Yeah,
And I just love seeing the love she has for life and
that's
for people
awesome.
she loves.
Man, that's got to be powerful to at her age too, and then to be reminded and seeing her fight for life, and like you said, like just be inspired about her trying to overcome that, and
Yeah,
yeah, and then
yeah,
being some of her support.
yeah. My brother, like we're, I guess I'm 36. He's
Mm-hmm.
I think 53
Okay.
or 55. I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
he's a good bit older than me. Like we haven't been able to connect as much as we would have liked to,
Sure.
but at the same time, like every single time I've talked to him, like I can just kind of sense like his the faith that God's in control,
That's cool.
um and that you know um things are gonna be
Hmm.
okay
Yeah. Yeah.
no matter
Yeah.
what.
Right. Very cool. All right. Closing question. If you could design a billboard, what would be a billboard design, or what would be on a billboard if you could, one of your billboards, even?
uh I mean, I thought about this. I mean, it may sound corny, but I think it would just be kind. You know, um, you never know the impact it'll have.
Mom, that is about as simple and true and needed of a
Agreed.
sign. I mean, it's like, I mean, it honestly is. It's ones like that where you see that, and I've seen like that bumper sticker or evasive version on a billboard, and you're like, it's almost it's so foreign now
Oh yeah,
in our experience that to even see that as a like be kind, just like, oh, be kind. Like,
yeah,
what is that again? Is that where you're like not in the internet
yeah,
comment section, just like obliterating somebody? It's just so
yeah. I mean, I wish I may if I had a lot of money, maybe I would pull out like an ad on social media that would just say that I'm not advertising a business.
yeah,
I'm just advertising. Be
yeah,
kind, and as you're scrolling, it might
yeah,
give you like
yeah,
a second thought about like, okay, maybe I should go delete that comment,
yeah,
just
right,
post it,
yeah,
um, because like we're talking to other people that made in the image of God, and
100%.
you know, uh,
The Imago Dei.
it multiplies,
Yeah, 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 exactly. Yeah, oh, I love that, and yeah, we need that out there. So be kind, be kind, be kind, and rewind if we're gonna go archaic technology slogans.
Oh,
That
Blockbuster.
there
I
we
love
go.
it. I love it.
And there's
Have you
still
heard?
one remaining, right? There's still one remaining
Or is like
in
in Washington
Portland.
maybe, or
Or
yeah,
yeah, it is.
or
It's up in
somewhere up
the
there.
yep, Oregon or Washington. Yep.
Did you know that Netflix had the opportunity to buy? No. Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's
Wow.
what it was.
So it's crazy to like even that is wild to even think back, like it wasn't that long and we were in Netflix, was you were getting DVDs in the mail.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, what in the world? I mean, this is not that long ago that
No, not
I
at
mean,
all.
Redbox is now gone, but like 2 years ago with Redbox, it's just like
I wish you still had those like devices around. Like you see like people like on the streets, like old like payphone,
yeah,
like things? What if we still have like old red box
Well, that's right. I
PlayStations?
mean, it's like it's getting to the point where that's going to be nostalgic pretty soon. It's like, holy
Yeah,
cow! I mean, it was just here. Like, um, yeah. Well, this has been a great conversation. Um, Great hanging out
I
with you
agree.
on this. Yeah, learned a lot more about you, and yeah, inspired by some of the way that you see the world. And thanks for sharing that.
Thanks for the opportunity.
All right,
Love you, bro. I
love you
love
too.
like having you in my life, and just really inspired by you and what your family means to us.
Yeah. Well, thanks for saying that, and I would echo the same thing back to you. Hope you enjoyed the episode today. Check out the show notes for any links or resources shared in the episode. If you enjoy the podcast, it would be really appreciated if you'd subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share it with friends. May we all remember these words from writer Mary Oliver. Instructions for living a life. Pay attention, be astonished, tell about it.